Hey everyone, this is Subhankar and welcome back to Care Fiction. I just teleported myself just in the time of the Star Trek Celebration Day. So from one Trekkie to all the Trekkies out there, even outside Earth, happy Star Trek Day. 54 years. Yes, it has been 54 years and that would seem like a long time. But we fondly remember the 8th of September as we embarked on the voyages of USS Enterprise headed by Captain James T. Kirk and later, my favorite, Captain Jean-Luc Picard. And since then, we have been boldly going where no one has ever gone before. But today, let us plot our courses to 54 years back and engage the maximum warp to reminisce the technologies that the show has given us. So without further ado, let us look into the 10 Star Trek technologies that actually came true. Although there could be more, I am restricting to 10 in this video and shall be coming up with the others in the second part. So let's hop in. Firstly, we have communicators, which are essentially cell phones. A communicator was a communications device used for person-to-person as well as intership communications and surpasses the capabilities of modern mobile phone technology. These devices use subspace transmissions that do not conform to normal rules of physics that can bypass electromagnetic interference. The device enabled a flip-flop design and it enabled a member of the Starfleet to speak directly into the device, to give commands, and speak with other personnel. Up next, we have the impulse engines. The impulse drive is the method of propulsion that the starships and other spacecrafts use when they are traveling below the speed of light. Although they are way ahead than the present technology, but barring some practical challenges, they are within the bounds of real possible future engineering. There is also the mention of ion drives in a few episodes, and modern day spacecrafts have used the ion drive engines, known as Hall thrusters. They are much more efficient than the usual chemical rockets and have been capable of propelling probes to asteroids and comets in our solar system. Then we have the replicators, which is a machine that can create things.
Tea Earl Grey, hot.
A replicator or the molecular synthesizer was a device that used matter-energy conversion technology to produce almost anything from the replicator reserves. In real life, we know them as the 3D printers. Yeah, they are different in many ways, but let us say that the replicator is a distant relative to the 3D printer. Next up is the tricorder. You have seen this instrument which Mr. Spock carries over his shoulder. That is a tricorder, and there are many variations available to measure everything, from oxygen levels to detecting diseases. The first real-world tricorder was developed by a Canadian company called Wilder Technologies in 1996, which could scan electromagnetic radiation, temperature, and barometric pressure. NASA employs a handheld device called the LOCAD, which scans for unwanted microorganisms on board the International Space Station. Then we have the Universal Translator, which was a technology used to decipher and interpret alien languages into the native language of the user. A true universal translator like the one on the show may not be a reality, but similar technology is available today that can translate predetermined language in real time. Of course, it was a superior technology because they were hopping into planets and bumping into alien species. The actual universal translator, which was used for deciphering unknown languages on the fly, was a handheld device with a keypad and display to which a communicator could attach at the top. Then there are the healing rays. Dr. Beverly Crusher shines a healing ray on her wounded patients, and the skin or bone heals immediately. Yeah, that seems like a bit far-fetched, but similar technologies are being widely used today. Surgeons work with lasers to cauterize or seal some tissues and repair detached retinas, while some dentists also use them too as well. The famous tractor beams appear not just in Star Trek, but across multiple fiction works. A tractor beam is a hypothetical beam of energy that can be used to move objects such as spaceships or hold them stationary. While it seems implausible when it comes to space objects or spaceships and other huge mass objects, but the closest technology that we have here on Earth are optical tweezers. Optical tweezers are scientific instruments that use a highly focused laser beam to hold and move microscopic objects like atoms, nanoparticles, and droplets. Optical tweezers use a focused laser to trap and suspend microscopic particles in an optical trap. Then we have the visor worn by Geordi LaForge, which stands for Visual Instrument and Sensory Organ Replacement. With this device, Geordi, who was blind, could see throughout the electromagnetic spectrum. The sensors are located on the convex side that covers the eyes and attached at the small input jacks implanted in the temples. In 2005, a team of scientists from Stanford University successfully implanted a small chip behind the retina of the blind rats that enabled them to pass a vision recognition test. The science behind the implants, or the bionic eyes as they are commonly referred to, works much the same way as Geordie's visor did. Several types of visual prostheses are in development or trials in humans. Then we have the personal access display device, a handheld computer. And do I need to mention what it inspired in real life? Handheld computer tablets like iPads. These devices often used a computer operating system called the LCARS, which is the acronym for Library Computer Access Retrieval System. The LCARS and the pad was designed by Michael Okuda, who served as the technical consultant for the series. If you want to know more about how these pads were designed, I will leave a link below in the description. And finally, we have the awesome holodecks, which is very obvious in the real world. That is virtual reality and augmented reality, or extended reality in general. Holodeck is a stage where participants may engage with different virtual reality environments. Anyone entering the holodeck could interact with solid props and characters in any scenario based on whatever parameters they have programmed. It inspired several generations of computer scientists who spearheaded research in artificial intelligence, computer graphics, and human-computer interaction. So what do you have to say about these Star Trek technologies and their real-life resemblance? The imagination and the creativity of the teams behind the series remains unparalleled. As mentioned before, I will be going more into the Star Trek universe in the upcoming videos, and make sure that you are notified of the same, which you can ensure by hitting the subscribe button. Also, don't forget to like and comment your favorite technologies from the series. So that is it for today, and in the immortal words of Mr. Spock, live long and prosper.